Shalom and Happy New Year to everyone, or the Roman New Year. I hope you enjoyed the fireworks. We just imagined the fireworks were for Hanukkah. We had it was a war zone here last night. Even though it was raining, it was amazing. The Filipinos are fearless when it comes to their fireworks. All right, so we are going to continue our directed immersion. I may make class a bit shorter today than usual because I know a lot of you are with your families and such today. And I'm going to pre-release this instead of making it a premiere, so people can just kind of not feel pressured to leave their family to block out a certain amount of time to study, all right? But I still want it there so you can keep in the habit of reading Hebrew every day. So may it be Adonai's will to bless you all. May this next year your learning expand and take you to new heights in understanding and having love for the Hebrew text, the sacred scriptures. May Adonai touch your tongue and your lips and your mind, that you can have tremendous and lovely breakthroughs. And my wish for all of you is that you will truly fall in love with this language. Not Hebrew in general, not watching Israeli sitcoms or something, but Lashon HaKodesh, the holy tongue, the dialects that we find in the Hebrew Bible as it was written over a period, or around a period of 1,000 years. All right. So let's continue. We are in 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 9. So I will scan it first and then I'll translate. Well, we'll discuss rather. Vatora laasot mikhol asher hayu lecha vateilekh. Oops, that's a mistake. Vataaseh lekha elohim acheirim umaseikhut lecha ואתי hishlakhta acharei gaveikha. All right, I fixed this one. I had made it yellow. Just kind of, I listen to radio shows and such when I go through and I colorize these. And I saw the chait at the end. Okay, I mean the kaf at the end of it. Okay, that must be a suffix, but it's actually part of the word halach, so that's why it's now white again. So, vatara. So the verb here, it's a little bit hard to recognize. Well, not that hard. It's reish, ayin, and the second ayin has disappeared. Ra'ah. This is to do evil, to do ra, right? Or to behave evilly. The tav at the beginning, the to, reminds us of ata. So to ra means you behaved evilly, or you did what is evil. We have a vav conversive, and that changes it. So va to ra is and you. Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry, I got it backwards. Ta-ra is you will do evil. It's an imperfect. I'm a little bit tired today. And then the vav conversive changes it to make it and you did evil, right? If it was did evil already, we'd have the tav at the end, okay? So the tav at the beginning tells us it's an imperfect, which generally means you will do evil or you are doing evil. Va to ra means and you did evil, right? The vav changed it. Laasot, lamed is a preposition. To, laasot, this is an infinitive, so to do. Ayin, sin, hey is the verb. Mikhol, so the mik, that's min, meaning from. Kol, all. Asher, aleph, shin, resh, which. Hayu, they were. Lefanecha, before you. Like all those who were before you. Vatara laasot, and you did evil in doing mikhol, more than all. So this is actually the mem of comparison we're understanding, right? Mem can function to give us the er, for example, that we have in English. Like if you want to say greater, bigger, faster, you'll use the mem of comparison. You'll say like big from, right? And that using the mem, the min. Or good from, tov min, right? That's the part. So here, vatara, and you did evil, laasot, doing, mikhol, more than all, asher, who, that's W-H-O, who, hayu, were they, lefanecha, before you, not meaning before you like in front of you, but meaning temporally before you. Okay? So you did more evil even than those who were before you. Vateilekh. So the tav is again you. Teilekh. The verb is halach. The hey is gone. Hey lamed kaf. By the way, if this is too fast, please feel free to click the gearbox. Click playback speed. You'll see the gearbox near the top, kind of a little bit to the right side of the window if you're watching this on YouTube. And you can click playback speed and just slow me down, all right? I'm going a little bit faster pace in case people want to just kind of get through this, right? For the holiday, they just want to, you're doing it, using it to keep your momentum going, right? You should ideally be reading Hebrew every day, okay? Even if it's just a little bit, right? And don't drop a day, don't break that habit. Just keep it going. It's Lashon HaKodesh anyway. You're not like reading a newspaper or something. You're reading the Bible, okay? So, teilekh is you will walk, or you are walking. And then the vav, conversive, changes the aspect. So vateilekh, and you walked. Vataaseh, lekha, and you laasot did. So laasot is you will do or you are doing. The vav conversive changes the aspect to be and you did. Lekha, for yourself. So it can be do or make. I saw the other word. So I'm going to say made. Vataaseh, and you made for yourself elohim acheirim. So we follow the pattern in biblical Hebrew of noun first and then the adjective, right? So if you saw in a green man or a great green man, i.e., the Hulk, then you'd say, I saw a man, that would be your noun, and then you'd stack up the adjectives. A green one, a great one, right? A big one. Right? And you could keep stacking them up. An evil one, an angry one, etc. So elohim acheirim, gods. What kind of gods? Acheirim, other ones. So vataaseh lekha elohim acheirim. And you made lekha for yourself other elohim, other gods. Okay? So let's just review what we've got so far. Vatorah laasot mikhol asher hayu lefanecha. That's it, nachta. That's a good place to stop. Vatorah, and you did ra. Laasot, in doing. Or mikhol, more than kol, all. Asher, who? Hayu, they were, lefanecha, before you. Vateilekh, and you walked. Vataaseh lekha, and you made for yourself. Elohim acheirim. By the way, if you're an auditory learner, feel free to just listen. This is crafted for both auditory and visual learners and mixed learning styles as well. Other gods. Excuse me. Let me get a quick drink here. All right. Umaseikhut. The reason it's instead of ve, like we usually expect it to look like the vav with a shva under it, is because of the mem, right? That's an example of the bump shwa rule. Bump shwa. If the word starts with an M sound, then the vav changes to shurik. And maseikhut. So this is a plural. It's a feminine plural. The ot tells you that. From a word maseikha. Maseikha, it comes from the root word nasach. Nun, samech, kaf. And if you're a visual learner, if you're watching, you can see there's a dagesh in the samech. That's because the nun was hiding in there, right? Theoretically, you would have had an ancient Hebrew word man secha, right? And over time that became mas secha. So there's two samechs because the noon assimilated, it went inside. Just if you care about that. And nasach, it's useful to know or to recognize because nasach is to pour, P-O-U-R, like to pour out a liquid. So a masecha, it's something that was poured out. So it's a molten image. You understand? It's not a graven image. It's a molten. It's not a fesel. It's a masecha. So there's so many different words for different kinds of idols in Hebrew. So you made for yourself elohim, acheirim, other gods, and maseikhut, molten images. Lehachiseni. So the verb here is kaf, ayin, samech, which is to vex. I'm feeling very vexed. V-E-X, to vex. I'm very vexed. This is a hifil form. You can notice there's a hey at the beginning. Hach-i-se-ni. And there's a yod jammed in before the third root letter. That tells you it's hifil. Those are the hints. So hifil is to cause to vex. So le, to, hacheris, cause to vex, ni, me. So you made these things, other gods, and like even just coming up with new kind of ideas for gods, and molten images, maseikhut, lehachiseni, to cause to be vexed me, to vex me. Ve'oti, and, or but, this is but, this is, then we have the DDO, aleph tav, we don't translate, but it's got the suffix e, so that means me. But me, hishlakhta, hishlakhta. So shalach, shin, lamed, kaf, is to cast. And this is a hifil. We have the hey prefix in front of it. So it's still the cast aside, like to cast aside, to, you. And there's special emphasis happening here. So I've shared with you before that normally the DDO, the definite direct object marker, and the object comes after the verb. So we would expect it after hishlakhta, but it's not, it's in front of it. So in syntax, in biblical Hebrew syntax, this tells you there's special emphasis on this word. The only time it's not true is, generally speaking, if you're in poetry or you're answering a question, right? Like, whom do you serve? OT, right? Me you serve. You could say that, right? So, but in this case, even though I did stress that, that might not necessarily have been emphasized, but here it's emphasized. So, but while me, hishlakhta, you cast aside. Acharei, gaveikha, acharei, after the gav of cha. Gav, gimel, vav, is the back. So after the backside. Me you cast to the backside, or after your back. Very offensive, right? We're not even facing him. It's kind of like the religious guys who have a mosque on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, and they talk about how it's such a holy site to them, and blah blah blah, and oh, it's the third holiest site in that religion, which is kind of a funny thing to say. Like, whatever your religion is, if you're a Christian, if you're a Roman Catholic, if you're Jewish, listening to this teaching, name the third holiest site in your religion. I challenge you. Nobody knows. That's a made-up thing. There's no such thing as a third holiest site. To say it's the third holiest site is to say it's the fourth or the fifth or the sixth, or basically we don't care about it that much, right? So sometimes you can see these guys, they'll play soccer up there on their, quote, third holiest site, but when they pray, if they're outside, when they pray, there's overflow, can't fit all inside, you'll see, they turn their tuchases, their butts, to the mosque, and they face Mecca, because that's the holy site. Right? So it's just a bunch of propaganda to stick it to Jews, to just bother us and prevent us from following our religion. Anyway, and here Hashem is saying, hishlakhta, you cast, acharei, after, gaveikha, you, the backside of you. What did you cast? Oti, me. You cast me to your backside. You're showing your butt to me when you pray. Right? All right, I'll read it through one more time, And I think that'll be maybe twice more. We'll be done with verse 9. Vatara, but you were evil. You did evil. You caused evil, really. It's a hifil. Yeah, I don't want to talk about why it's evil. It's kind of hard to recognize, but it is. Laasot, in doing or with actions. Mikhol, more than kol. Kaflamen, more than all. Asher, who? Hayu, they were. Lefanecha, before you. Vateilekh, and you walked. Vateaseh lekha, and you made for yourself. Elohim, acheirim, gods, other ones. Umaseikhut, and a masecha can also be a libation, by the way, but I don't think it's talking about that here. And molten images. Lekha, to cause to ka'as, kaf, ayin, seen me, to cause to vex me. Ve'oti, while me, hishlakhta, acharei gaveikha, you you cast, acharei gaveikha, after the backside of you. I'll just read it one more time too. We're almost at 17 minutes, so I want to make sure to finish. I'll just read this time and you try to translate for yourself. I'll read at a more normal pace. Vatara laasot mikhol asher hayu lefanecha. vateilekh, vataaseh elohim acheirim. umaseikhut acharei. ואתי hishlakhta acharei gaveikha. Sorry, I have my finger maximum there with the lekha. I mispronounced that at first. I'll own that. Not a word you see that often in this form. Lekha, to vex me. One more time too, without the pointer. Try to just listen. ותרה לעשות מכל אשר היו לפניך, ותלך ותעשה לך אלוהים אחרים. umaseikhut להכעיסני ואותי hishlakhta, acharei gaveikha. All right, hope you guys had a good time. Special thanks to all my patrons out there, and have a happy Hanukkah. Although, yeah, have a happy Hanukkah. And also enjoy your happy Roman New Year. Shalom, shalom.